Good morning and welcome to the 196th Sovereigns Parade here at the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. My name is Major Lydia Kaguda and I'm joined here today with Major Carl Taylor. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning to you, Lydia, and a great privilege to be here. And the sun is shining down on Sandhurst here today, and looking forward to seeing a new batch of Army officers ready to commission.
Yep, today we are commissioning course 211, which contains 236 officers and includes 36 international officer cadets from 27 different countries. So we can see there the Academy Adjutant leading the parade onto the parade ground. The Academy Adjutant is Major Chris Davies, Welsh Guards. And today he is riding Falkland.
Lydia, good morning to our viewers as well, who's tuning into Facebook Live. And as you rightly said, there's Chris Davis, the Academy Adjutant. He's also flanked, as you can see on the right-hand side, by the Academy Sergeant Major, who is Colin Kirkwood from the Scots Guards, and also flanked by 4 stick orderlies, and we'll speak about them later. But you can see the parade just about to come onto Old College parade ground after mounting up on New College and marching towards the parade ground itself.
And this process will take slightly longer this morning because today we have all 3 intakes on parade, which is the first time this has happened since December 19. We've had to reduce the numbers on parade on previous intakes, commissioning parades, due to COVID-19. So it's great to see all 3 intakes on parade today.
See in the background the band here playing the music for us today, represented by the band of the Scots Guards, led by the Director of Music, Major Tony Williams. He is also joined by the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, pipes and drums, led by Major Ben Duncan, who is the pipe major. Incidentally enough, he started piping at the age of 4 years old, so a great occasion for him today.
See the cadets marching onto the parade square there, with this term having a few firsts. We mentioned that it's the first time that all 3 terms have been on parade since December 19, but it's also worth mentioning that this intake in particular have been known as the Sunshine course. I think they've done exceptionally well on their exercises in terms of the weather, and it looks like the same has held out for them today, Carl.
Absolutely, extremely lucky, as you can see from the picture there, the beautiful skies shining above Sandhurst. And as you look at the parade ground itself, you will see in front will be the senior term, so they're the intake that will be commissioning today. They are supported behind them, who will, you notice, carrying rifles as opposed to swords, the intermediate term, and then right at the rear as they're marching onto parade is Old College. And bear in mind, they've only spent 14 weeks in training, and they are part of probably the most biggest parade that they've had in their entire Army career.
And at the back there we can see the new college adjutant, which is Captain Chris Pollard of the Grenadier Guards, and today he is riding Sovereign Shadow. fantastic view there, and as we say, fantastic to see all 3 intakes on parade.
Sandhurst will form 2 ranks. Form 2 ranks. Sandhurst in open order. Inwards, dress.
Okay, as the cadets come on parade now, they will get their dress in by the centre. And these will orchestrated by the new college Regimental Sergeant Major Hutchins from the Coldstream Guards and Old College Regimental Sergeant Major from the Mercian Regiment Timperley. They will make sure that all the officer cadets are properly lined up, ready for the inspection to receive the Sovereign's rep shortly. And that is now the left half of all intakes now dressing. As you've seen there, College Sergeant Major Hutchins had about turned and faced the right, and this is where he dressed off the right-hand side of the parade. So both sides are dressed off prior to the Academy Sergeant Major coming forward to give the eyes right.
The right half of Swedish prisoner. Still, stand still, right, right half out. Enemy figure. Still, left front right, at the right half of the Swedish prisoner.
And that's the Academy Sergeant Major now stepping off after give eyes front to the intakes, and he will make his way behind one of the half companies. Incidentally enough, this will be the second occasion that not only has Colin Kirkwood drawn his sword for the Scots Guards in the troop and the colour this year with his regiment, but you will see him later on drawing his sword again on parade today. And now you can hear the colour party from inside the college coming out on parade, where they will be supported by Point of War being played by the band. As you can see, the colour party there, Company Sergeant Major Bull in the centre, carrying the banner, escorted by Colour Sergeant Child, Goodchild, and Colour Sergeant Parks, all of the Coldstream Guards.
Escort to the banner and colour party! Present! Up! Sandhurst! Slow! On! Sandhurst! Standard. Ease.
So,
Easy.
as we wait for the Sovereign's representative to arrive, we'll now take a quick look at what the senior term cadets have been up to on their final exercise, Dynamic Victory.
Tomorrow I am the platoon commander for the operation that's happening. As you see behind me, we've got a massive sort of model in detail, so people got able to walk around and get a real sort of first-person feel of what it's going to be like on the ground tomorrow.
We've got a lot of moving parts in this attack. It's quite a kinetic attack. There's a lot that can go wrong and probably will go wrong. So it's making sure the plan has enough room for adaptability that we can sort of overcome those challenges as they arise.
So we're currently in the village of Übungsdorf, where intense fighting is taking place between the 1 Sandhurst Rifles Battle Group and the South Austrian Army. This is a particularly difficult situation for the officer cadets to have to deal with. As you can see, the fighting is intense.
So in about 3 weeks' time, the intake will commission in December, where we will become second lieutenants, and that's something obviously everyone's really looking forward to. It's been a long 41 weeks so far.
All that teamwork, all these efforts put in, that's what led us to achieve our main goals.
I think the most satisfying thing upon the day of the commission, I would say, is to see my family and friends being proud of me, leading my troops for the best of the country.
There's a moment where you do just think, how am I going to be able to do this? And then you reflect on what you've been taught and you push yourself, and actually you come out the end being a lot better.
For me, the most difficult part, possibly as an international cadet, is the weather here.
Now looking at myself now and reflecting on how far I've come is really satisfying.
So my thoughts and emotions on the commissioning day are going to be, I think, wildly roller coaster. I think it's going to be fantastic.
There's been challenges physically and mentally, discovering new things about myself that I never would have done without going through this course.
That feeling that you have before an exam or a driving test or a job interview, Sandhurst makes you do those things about 3 times a week. So by the time you come through everything, you're in a position where you can do anything really.
And there we can see that the Sovereign's representative has now arrived and is making her way up the Queen's Walk. The Sovereign's representative today is Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal. This will actually be the 6th time that the Princess Royal has taken the Sovereign's Parade, which is the same number of times that Her Majesty the Queen has taken the parade. You can see there she's joined by the Commandant, who is Major General Duncan Capps, who has met the Princess Royal on a number of occasions. We'll talk about that later. And also the ADC, Captain Sam Richardson at the back there, who has also met the Princess Royal previously and advised me that the last time he met her, a bird actually pooed on his shoulder.
as the Academy Adjutant Chris Davis now makes his way towards the dais to meet the Sovereign's Rep and state the parade after the first Royal Salute has been given.
It's also great to see so many family in the stands here to see the officer cadets pass off today. As we're aware on previous parades, we've been extremely restricted in the number of people we've been allowed to have in the stands.
Stand fast, the senior division. Remainder, change, arms.
The Academy Adjutant on his charge of Falklands gives the word of command in order to get the parade ready for the inspection. So you'll see the intermediate turn and the senior turn standing at ease, but you'll see the front ranks of the senior division and the rear rank of the senior division still at the attention whilst the Sovereign's Rep makes her way to the right-hand side of the parade. You'll also notice that in the background, the SUO, the senior under officer, and the Academy Sergeant, you can just see them walk in the background, will meet the Sovereign's Rep prior to the start of the inspection.
And we can see there two of the stick orderlies who will be leading the inspection party. There we have Officer Cadet Livesley, who will be commissioning into the Educational Training Services, and Officer Cadet Stillwell, who will be commissioning into the Royal Signals. The Princess Royal there, meeting the Sword of Honour winner, who will also escort her during the inspection. He has a very difficult task because he needs to know who all the officer cadets are so that he can introduce them accordingly. And no doubt this will be an extremely proud moment for the officer cadets and their families on parade today. So as previously mentioned, this is the 6th time that the Princess Royal has taken the parade and represented Her Majesty. And she actually used to live at the Academy. I believe in the house that's now occupied by the commanding officer of the Sandhurst Support Unit. See the Commandant to the left of the Princess Royal there. As we mentioned before, this isn't the first time that he's met Her Royal Highness. He met her in Afghanistan, Camp Bastion, as part of when he was Commander Joint Force Support. That was back in December 2012. He also met her as Colonel Commandant RLC at Keevil Airfield for the 100th anniversary of the first use of air dispatch, and that was in 2016. And again as Colonel Commandant RLC for the 7th Regiment Royal Logistics Corps Medals Parade on their UN tour in Cyprus, and that was in Cottesmore in 2017.
As the inspection party and the Sovereign's representative will move past the colours and pay the compliments to the colours whilst on parade. We took a short break there to let you listen to the excellent piece of music by the band, and obviously just heard Amazing Grace. The music selection actually is conducted each term by the Commandant, the Academy Adjutant and the Academy Sergeant Major, where the band will play a selection of tunes appropriate for the parade and this time of the year, and in particular depending on the Sovereign's rep. And indeed this time those pieces of music are selected especially for this occasion. And the officer cadets here, some of them may get a privilege to speak to the Sovereign's rep or the commandant, or indeed any member of the inspection party. So up early this morning, a lot of physical training to get the blood pumping on the body, a good hearty breakfast, and then certainly for the senior term, over a year of training, this has culminated to the final parade. They've got some beautiful music in the background, and they're not only just concentrating on staying still, perfectly aligned, smart, showing off, but they're also looking for their parents and friends that have come to watch them today. And this must have been the same for you, Lydia, when you were a cadet.
Yes, it's an extremely proud moment. In fact, it's 15 years ago that I was on parade myself, December 2006. So, and it was Her Majesty the Queen that took the parade because it was the same intake as Prince William. So yes, it was an extremely proud moment, not just for me, but I know for my family as well.
Fantastic. And as you can see on the right-hand side, the officer cadet wearing a medal. And you'll notice that some officer cadets on the senior intake will also be wearing a number of medals. And this is because they've taken part in operational tours previously prior to coming here at the Academy.
So a couple of facts about this particular intake. The average age is 24 years old, with our youngest officer cadet being 18 and the eldest being 31. And we've mentioned the number of international cadets that we have on parade today. And we've mentioned some other firsts, and it is also a first for the Fijian cadets. They have their first female officer cadet on parade today. Fiji have had 46 cadets commission through Sandhurst since 1950.
And here we have the inspection party complete the front rank of the senior term, led by the stick orderlies. You can see them stepping off there to the left-hand side of the screen, and the inspection party now will inspect the rear rank of the senior division.
And you can see there the Academy Sergeant Major just making sure that they're all looking extremely smart. And Carl, that was your role previously here at the Academy.
Yeah, that's right. I was the Academy Sergeant Major here 2017 to 2019, the second ever Welsh Guards Academy Sergeant Major, the late Horace Phillips. Stepped in some huge shoes back in the 60s, so I was absolutely privileged to take on that honour.
And this isn't the first time that Carl and I have worked at the Academy together. Back in 2014, when I was assigned in as a platoon commander, and for a short stint, Carl was actually the company sergeant major then as well. So you've been here on numerous occasions, haven't you, Carl?
Yeah, thank you, Lydia. And also as the colour sergeant. Yeah, I'm actually here as the late entry officer course instructor here as well. So come here 4 times. I must like the place. And you may recognise this piece of music from the recent 007 movie, No Time to Die, by Eilish and Little. As the inspection party gets ready to state the compliments again to the colours as they go past, you can see him giving an eyes left. Historically, colours are extremely important to all regiments, and all regiments do have colours normally presented by Her Majesty the Queen, and they contain the insignia and the battle honours of the units that they have fought in previous. They're normally held in an officer's mess in any unit, and will always be escorted when moving to and from place to place. And certainly on the battlefield, they signify a rallying point, and this is for the soldiers when they return from battle during the chaos of battle, and will see where their colour is, and then they will rally to it. So it was a form of rallying point in the colour. Real good Scottish theme going on today as well here at the Academy. The Queen's colours carried by Officer Cadet Elmhurst from the Falklands, who will be joining the Scots Guards, as you just seen just then, and the Sandhurst colours is also carried by Officer Cadet McEwen, joining the Scots Guards.
So just behind the colours there, we have half of Borneo Company. and the inspection party is now currently with Imaging Company. And at the end there you can see the senior term officer cadets with a different colour lanyard on to the rest of the senior term, who are all wearing the red lanyard. That's because they are the winners of the Sovereign's Parade competition, so the Sovereign's Platoon competition, for which they've been participating in throughout their time at Sandhurst. It includes a number of physical exercises and performance in the Defence and International Affairs and the other academic studies here at Sandhurst. And depending how the platoons perform, they earn points, and the platoon with the most amount of points at the end of their time at Sandhurst will be the Sovereign's Platoon. And that's who you can see there. And the Sovereign's Platoon at my time at Sandhurst was actually Prince William's platoon.
The officer cadets have been stood here for a while now, listening to the beautiful music provided by the Scots Guards and the pipes and drums. And certainly they've had a rehearsal on Wednesday where the Commandant addressed the parade, so they've had plenty of practice in standing on parade and conducting what you'll see later on. But the Commandant also mentioned during a previous visit, a Sovereign's rep, His Majesty the King of Jordan, that noted that bulling your shoes is a small and humble task, but the small things are the beginning of everything. And this is what everyone's been concentrating on today, is making sure that their uniform, their boots, their sword, every bit of attire that they're wearing is absolutely perfect for the inspection. That is now the inspection complete. What you see now is the Sovereign's rep led by the stick orderlies back to the dais. To the right-hand side, just off the screen, was the senior under officer, who will now stand the parade at ease. And at the rear of the Sovereign's platoon, you will see the Academy Sergeant Major, who has had his pay stick removed, and he will draw his sword ready for the next part of the parade.
Stand fast! The senior division. Remainder, turn! Remainder, change, out! Remainder, stand at ease! Drink!
Academy Adjutant is now given the word of command, troop, and this is the signal for the Sovereign's platoon to come forward to collect the Sovereign's banner from the escort you see marched on earlier on.
Sovereign's platoon, take order, march! Sovereign's platoon will advance. By the centre, quick, march!
As they step off to the British Grenadiers, which is the piece of music played, as you'd recognise from the Troop and the Colour in London every year. There you see the Sovereign's platoon, they've advanced and they've left formed. They're now marking time and the word of command's been given to go forward. The Academy Sergeant Major at the rear. You see the junior under officer at the front is called the ensign with the white belt across his shoulder. He will be receiving the banner and he's flanked by two other junior under officers of the Sovereign's platoon.
The Sovereign's platoon, and open order, right, dress!
That's a word of command to get an open order for the Sovereign's platoon to receive the colour. As soon as they settle down, you'll see the Academy Sergeant Major at the rear step off and then lead the ensign towards the colour party. And for the second time this year, as I mentioned, with the Scots Guards trooping the colour in London, and now the Academy Sergeant Major Colin Kirkwood, Scots Guards come forward to receive the colour with his sword drawn. He'll move forward and halt in front of the ensign, who will then put away his sword, ready to receive the banner and conduct a royal salute to present that.
Sandhurst platoon, present, on!
National anthem is played as they receive the colour, and you'll see on the flanks of the Sovereign's platoon the escorts with rifles, and they've turned to the flanks to protect the colour as part of the Sovereign's platoon. Academy Sergeant Major will make his way down to the rear, and then once he's settled, they will march forward in front of the Sovereign's rep and troop the banner through the ranks.
Sandhurst platoon will advance by the right, slow march.
A hugely proud moment for the Sovereign's platoon. Not only have they just won the colour, but now they get, or won the Sovereign's banner, but they get to troop it through the ranks. As you can see on the left-hand side there, Colour Sergeant Roberts, he was posted to the Academy from 2020 in August, on the back of a 2-year post in the Army Training Regiment Centre, Purbright. He is also in charge of that platoon, and he's guiding them with his platoon commander through the whole of his time here. He's also supported by the Academy Sergeant Majors we've seen earlier on. So what'll happen now is you will see them come onto the inspection lines, and as they left wheel, you'll hear the band will cut out. And this will give a chance for the rest of the senior intake to do a present arms prior to trooping through the ranks. And the banner is trooped proudly in front, and this ensures that all the soldiers, or officer cadets in this case, on parade can identify the colour. And remember we talked about the colours earlier on as a sign of a rallying point in battle. They now identify the colour that has been just given to him on this occasion.
cadets have been stood on parade for some time now, and they'll be looking forward to the next part of the parade, where shortly they will be all moving off in slow time. They will move around the parade square in front of a dais. It will give them a chance to move their legs, having been stood still for so long.
Platoon, present, off! Sandhurst, slow, arms! Sandhurst, post order, march!
They've just been given a word of command from the Academy Adjutant to get into close order. Bear in mind they've been in open order for the inspection to take place, so they're in close order, ready to march around in slow time.
Sandhurst will march past in slow and quick time. Divisions into column, by the right, right wheel, slow, march.
As you can see, all the intakes now with right wheels on the spot, and then formed from where they were divisions into line, now into divisions into columns. That's basically the half company split in half and marching behind each other.
So we will shortly see the parade left wheel. And the Academy Adjutant will also move round and then lead the parade. As mentioned, the Academy Adjutant is Major Chris Davies, who read German and Spanish at the University of Exeter. That was prior to completing a commissioning course here at the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. Major Davies started here at the Academy in March earlier this year.
adjutant gives the flourish and his eyes right there. You'll see now the cadets get ready to give their eyes right. You'll see the JUOs at the front give their flourish as the remainder of the platoon move their head and eyes over to the right to respect the sovereign representative. Are non-military minded, you'll hear a lot of screaming and shouting, and these are words of command given by the officer cadets for the senior term as they move past the Sovereign's rep to give their compliments. But then as you see the intermediate and the junior term, the colour sergeants will give the words of commands for them.
So as Carl mentioned there, you can hear quite a lot of shouting at the moment, and that's because the parade has now reached the other corner of the parade square, and there's some pretty tricky drill movements that need to go on at what is known as Chaos Corner. Do you want to talk us through that, Carl?
Yeah, absolutely, Lydia. Prior to going past the Sovereign's rep, all the divisions will be in open order. As soon as the salute is complete, they will then go into close order, and then as they approach this corner, which you are seeing on screen now, they will conduct on the left half of the division, will conduct a right wheel followed by a left wheel. You can just see the second part of that division coming round. So they're now back from divisions into line, back into divisions into column for the corners. So the only times they complete the divisions into line is when they actually march past the Sovereign's representative.
Division! It's a cover! Red division! Right!
You just noticed there one of the colour sergeants, and indeed the old college regimental sergeant major, Timperley from the Mercians, as you've seen earlier on. And you may have noticed that there's an oak leaf in their headdress. And this was due to a battle taking place of Dettingen in 1743, where at the time His Majesty King George II was protected in a oak tree surrounded by his soldiers. And from that day, as soon as he removed himself from the oak tree, the regimental day was the 17th of Feb. He presented the oak leaves to all of the soldiers in protection. They still celebrate that this year, and the reason why they're wearing it today is because they are in the presence of royalty. There you can see another example of divisions going from line into column. As you can see, the right half, as you're looking at the screen, is right wheeling followed by a left wheel to form nice and neatly behind the front half of the division.
again, you can see the new college adjutant, Captain Chris Pollard, on Sovereign Shadow. And the horses that we use here at Sandhurst have also been used during Trooping the Colour. Sovereign Shadow has been the Brigade Major's horse before.
As you can see, the Academy Adjutant taking front centre of the parade ground, and this is to give the words of command from slow time into quick time. So at a moment of the parade where the rear division would have changed arms because the intermediate and the junior division have got rifles, as soon as that exchange is done, you'll hear the band cut out and the Academy Adjutant give the word of command to break into quick time. And you'll see the arms swinging and a faster pace of music.
And as they've moved into quick time, music that you can hear in the background is the Standard of St George.
As the officer cadets are coming around this time in quick time, you will see the Academy Adjutant just give his head and eyes over to the right as opposed to the flourish you've seen in slow time. And this is because we couldn't possibly do that word of command and carry out the action in quick time. Officer cadets are marching through Chaos Corner again, where they're completing their divisions into line, into divisions, into column. And once the quick time has been complete, so that's everyone, the whole intakes have passed the Sovereign's rep and give the compliments, and they've completed and negotiated Chaos Corner, they will then march on to their respective lines as they were at the beginning of the parade, where they will conduct a left form at the halt.
We mentioned the first female Fijian cadet to commission, who we saw just a moment ago, and that is Officer Cadet Silatolu.
The senior term and intermediate term now in position. They have done their left form at the halt and halted back on their original lines at the start of the parade. Just waiting for junior term now, who are at the rear, to finish their march past. Once this has happened, then you'll see another dressing off, which will be from all the members of staff dressing off to the centre and then giving a nice front, ready for the next part of the parade.
Sandhurst, men, fight for order, menwards, dress!
The ice front was given by the Academy Sergeant at the rear. And this is now a chance for the Academy Adjutant to lead the whole of the parade forward approximately 14 steps and halt. And this is called the advance in review order.
Sandhurst will advance in review order. By the centre, quick march! Sandhurst, shoulder, arms! Sandhurst, stand at ease!
And in just a moment, the Sovereign's representative will address the parade.
Stand easy!
Your Excellencies, Alumni, distinguished guests, staff and officer cadets of the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. It is a great honour to represent the Sovereign at this parade, which marks the culmination of your officer training. At the conclusion of the parade, those who will receive the Queen's Commission or commissioned into your own nation's armies, march up the old college steps. I took my first parade here in 1973. That was just before I moved into Oak Grove House and spent 4 years living here. And I have always enjoyed the ability to return here. And I hope over this time I've developed a real respect to the dedication and professionalism of the directing staff who have trained you over the last year. For all of you commissioning today, this parade also marks the end of your training and the start of your careers. You have, over the last year, probably worked harder than you have ever done previously to achieve this goal. Not least of course, the many hours spent out here on the parade square to ensure you negotiate Chaos Corner as impeccably as you did today. I therefore must start by congratulating you on the standard of your turnout and the drill on parade today. I think all of you will have learned that drill has its purpose, but it is probably the ultimate team game you will ever take part in, so congratulations. Also, to the 35 international cadets in the senior term, completing this commissioning course is an achievement in itself. And even more so when many of you have done so with a second or even third language. All of you commissioning today will have made friends for life here and be able to rely on them as well as your families for advice and comradeship in the future. Over your year here, you will have absorbed the history, the culture, the ethos, and above all, the high standards of an army which has served this nation faithfully for over 300 years. The training here at Sandhurst embodies all that is best about the nation and our army. With this training comes an expectation and a responsibility. the challenges you're likely to face over the coming years will place demands on you that few others of your age in the world today will experience. When you leave here as young officers, your first command, whether of a troop or platoon, will require you to put into practice everything you have learned here. You will be entrusted with the lives, training and well-being of an incredibly precious resource, the people under your command, and to ensure that they carry out their duties as required. No other job gives this much challenge, satisfaction and responsibility. You will be commissioned today as the Army begins the most significant transformation in a generation, becoming one of the most technically modern armies in the world in an era of uncertainty. You are as well prepared for the challenges that lie ahead as is possible. But the fundamentals of leadership endure. It is merely the context that changes. Since 1973, I have had the privilege of seeing how well the Royal Military Academy has fulfilled its role and stayed relevant to the changing military environment. I have even understood some of those changes. But you start with the advantage of newer skills. Use them to improve your leadership skills that you celebrate today. This is a proud moment for you, your families and friends, a moment you will never forget. I join our guests and the Sandhurst staff in congratulating you and wishing you every possible success in your military careers.
So the next part of the parade, we can see 4 officer cadets lining up there, ready to receive their awards as the main prize winners.
The awards. The International Award presented by the State of Qatar. The International Award is awarded to the International Cadet who has achieved the best overall results in military, academic and practical studies. Today it is awarded to Officer Cadet Legisa Moges from the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia.
So Officer Cadet Moges studied engineering at Jimma University, and it was after university that he joined the Ethiopian Defence Force.
The Queen's Medal. The Queen's Medal is awarded to the Officer Cadet who has achieved the best overall results in military, academic and practical studies. Today it is awarded to Junior Under Officer Max George, who is to be commissioned into the Rifles.
Officer Cadet George studied a master's degree in Russian, East European and Eurasian Studies at Glasgow University. He will commission into the Rifles.
the International Sword, presented by the State of Kuwait. The International Sword is awarded to the International Cadet, considered by the Commandant to be the best of the intake. Today it is awarded to Officer Cadet Pablo Lacey from Ukraine.
Officer Cadet Lacey was extremely honoured to be selected by his country to train at the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. He speaks a number of languages, including Ukrainian, English, Russian and Polish, and is keen on Greek wrestling. His other hobbies include rugby and riding dirt bikes.
The Sword of Honour. The Sword of Honour is awarded to the Officer Cadet considered by the Commandant to be the best of the intake. Today it is awarded to Senior Under Officer William Key, who is to be commissioned into the Parachute Regiment.
Officer Cadet Key, who was born in Norfolk and part of the Norfolk Army Cadet Force, but was also part of the University Officer Training Corps, whilst he studies his BA in History and Politics at Queen's University, Belfast.
Sandhurst! Sandhurst! Halt! Sandhurst! Slow! Arms! Sandhurst! Royal salute! Present! Arms! Sandhurst! Slow! Arms!
The Academy Adjutant giving the final word of command today here for the Royal Salute to take place prior to the senior term, marching up those famous Old College steps.
May I have your leave to march the senior division up the Old College steps and the remainder of the group?
The senior division, push order, march! The senior division, inwards, turn!
The word of command, inwards turn, now means that the junior under officers, those are the selected officers that were at the front of each of the divisions, now make their way to the rear. And there's an order of march before we go into Old College, and that will be first of all the whole intake, followed by the junior under officers, then the Sovereign's platoon, followed by the stick orderlies, the prize winners, and then finally the Academy Adjutant will ride the horse up Old College steps.
The The intermediate and junior division, present arms. The senior division, inward wheel, by the centre, slow march.
Fantastic setting there, as you can see the flag flying on top of Old College, and in particular for today the Royal Standard is flying because we have, remember, the Royal Family on parade as opposed to the Union flag.
And this is the moment that the cadets will have been waiting for. 44 weeks ago their journey will have started here in front of Old College with their ironing boards poised, and now they're looking forward to this iconic moment of walking up the steps to mark the end of their commissioning course.
As you can see the colours coming through, both the Queen's colour and the Sandhurst colour through the Old College entrance, led by the escort, and then the senior term cadets. On the apex of Old College you can see the two ancient gods, Mars and Minerva, which represents the god of war and the god of wisdom, reminding the officer cadets on that first day when they turned up to Old College to start their journey to be a commissioned officer, and now they see those two gods as they enter into commission for the start of their career.
Now see the stick orderlies making their way up. And we mentioned the two female stick orderlies, but we also have the two male stick orderlies there, who are Officer Cadet Campbell, who will be joining the King's Royal Hussars, and Officer Cadet Cox, who will be commissioning into the Royal Artillery.
Yes, Lydian, their role hasn't finished quite yet. As they get inside Old College Grand Entrance, they will flank the charger, ready for the Academy Adjutants to dismount his charger once he's got inside. You will now see also the prize winners leading in prior to the Academy Adjutant making that famous and final climb of the steps on his charger.
So that is the Sovereign's platoon that have just come in through the doors there, followed by the stick orderlies. And taking their positions, as Carl mentioned just a moment ago. And then we can see the prize winners making their way in through the doors. And the hall porter that we can see on the right hand side has a very important part. Carl, would you like to tell everyone about John's role?
Yeah, Lydia, John Archibald is the hall porter. This is his 66th parade. So if you think that we do 3 a year, he's been here for a particularly long time. He will assist with all the mechanics of the officer cadets and anyone entering and leaving Old College main grand entrance. But he'll also provide a mint for the charger that will go up and stop in the grand entrance.
So there you can see the Academy Adjutant making his way towards the Old College entrance. So we'll take this moment to say goodbye. Thank you to everyone who has been listening, and we would like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. So that's from me, Lydia.
And from me, Carl.
Thank you very much.